What's going on, everyone? It's Mike.
And John.
And we're here bringing you this week's episode of Beard Stroking Bullshit. John, it's been a little bit.
It hasn't been that long, but yeah, it's been a little bit.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah.
We last talked about E3 and
Right.
the craziness and all the announcements and everything that was going on there. We got lucky enough to get our friends from Gamepires to agree to come back on the podcast as we did, and we're thankfully joined by our good friend Wonder. Wonder, how's it going, bud?
Hey, it's been going awesome. Working.
Yeah,
and
you guys.
You know the rest.
Yeah, you guys have been pretty busy since about April. You guys were over here in Boston for PAX East, and then you guys busted ass and got your shit together and went to E3 as well with Devolver. And how's things been, man?
Well, I said it's pretty busy, but it's being also pretty good. As more news are coming out from us, people are more and more excited. And well, I can't say it's not exhilarating, but stressful. But still, it's gonna pay off.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. John and I have been talking. We saw the trailer that you guys dropped for E3. Now I've heard some rumors that there's a longer version of that.
Oh yeah, there is a longer version, but we're not sure when we will publish it.
Okay.
If we will publish it, we'll see about that. We have other stuff in the works as well, so we'll see about that.
Awesome, man. That's super awesome. So between the time that we've last talked, there's been a bunch going on. You guys have given us a couple more videos. I'm sure, I've got some questions. Some people on Facebook have questions. I know John's got some questions. So, John, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I was going to start with a Facebook question anyway.
Yeah.
Sure.
Somebody asked, hey, it was Anthony Luke. I'll credit the people who said it.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can I start off with a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Hey, Wonder, when's the release date? It's August. You're not getting any better than that. Continue.
Yeah, there you go. Hit them where it hurts. Some people, the release date was a point of contention, I could tell. Like, some people were like, what the hell? What Q2? I thought, and I don't know. These people, you got an exact date, basically now. Be happy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't have a set date yet for the public, though.
We have a month.
But August-ish, better than a whole quarter.
The 31st.
Well, it's gonna be before September, though. Is that close enough?
That's perfect.
Okay, before September, that works.
Good question. All right, John, go right ahead.
All right. Are you going to be able to spawn in as a group? Say you're playing with buddies. Is it going to be an instance where if you don't, in Rust, for instance, I'm going to use a game example. You got to build a sleeping bag, okay, for your buddies to spawn in on you. Is there going to be a system like that, or are you just going to be able to have to find your guys in the world? What's the system?
For now, you just you will need to find your buddies around the world. There is no group spawning in.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, we didn't even really think about it or plan to do it. But if there's gonna be some initiative from the player base, why not?
Gotcha.
So my question, I went back through and watched a bunch of the videos. You guys have been, from the metabolism video to the wonderful dueling banjos video, have shown off some awesome mocap skills. But the metabolism video showed the character being able to lift weights or do pull-ups. Is that going to be stuff that your character's going to be able to do to create muscle mass or to be able to bulk your character up kind of?
Oh, you mean actual physical exercise?
Yeah.
Well, the thing that you saw in the video was just for the video.
Okay.
But I mean, hey, you never know. At one point, maybe. We like to experiment with stuff. But for now, you can do a lot of physical activity that will help you up bulk your character.
Because when I saw that, I immediately thought of, John, help me, GTA San Andreas.
Yeah, Carl Johnson.
That's, yeah, you could, So like for me, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool if like your team holds down the prison and you can use like the workout racks and stuff like that. That's just something that kind of came to my head. Um, what was the other one I had? I noticed also from the character creation video, you guys have with the new layout for the creation of characters, you have like kind of flaws and then flaw stages. Now those will kind of be like now for those because if you guys haven't been paying attention or if you haven't been watching what's been going on or heard our last conversation with Wonder, we talked a little bit about this, but the idea is that with flaws, your character will be, a smoker or a drug user or an alcoholic or what have you, and those flaws will give you extra. And now I'm curious. You guys really haven't said much about it, but I'm assuming it'll be bonus points. Okay, and like I'm kind of hoping. This is where my head goes when I think of flaws like alcoholism or drug use is that if your character doesn't get what they need to satiate that flaw, then you'll have the withdrawal or DTs. Will that then be kind of a con to your character where they won't have, if they're in a withdrawal, they're not going to be able to hold their rifle steady when they're shooting?
Oh yeah, that's the main idea.
Okay.
Like depending on the which flaw. I'm not the medical expert. I'm not sure, like which flaw like how it influences a person if you're like an extreme alcoholic and you don't drink alcohol, what happens to you. I don't know that, contrary to popular belief, but I don't know that. All right. But yeah, there will be like certain effects, maybe even visual ones, depending on the flaw, or shaky hands, blurry vision, radical movement. No, that's probably not a thing.
Okay.
I mean, I said I'm yeah. The guys did a lot more research on the flaws, and we will do even more once we plan to implement them like on such detailed scale.
Ooh. Okay.
I've got a question. Yes.
John?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So as far as managing stamina goes, is there going to be like is the only way to build up stamina running around like to do the act to like get the better ability? Like is there going to be a treadmill if we're talking about workout equipment? Is there going to be a easier way to build up your stamina? Because if you're running around, there's no vehicles, right? There's no plan for any sort of vehicles.
Oh, there will be vehicles.
Oh, okay. Well, great. Well, then, screw running.
But well, obviously you'll be able to build up your stamina skill,
Right.
but just by running. I mean, you will do that most of the time, so it won't be that hard. Of course, depending on other situations as well, depending like how you develop your character, in which certain way you want to go, or maybe by circumstances it happens to you. So, but yeah, pretty much just by running in, you will be able to get the stamina level up.
Nice. Okay.
Now, what like I'm assuming because you guys have kind of shown a little bit more in depth of like what goes into the different skills and such. So you guys basically, what I think a lot of people are curious about, Wonder, is that, and I've seen that question here a little bit, is the time frame. And I know we talked a little bit about it on our episode previous in November, where you said, well, there's an idea that there's going to be a long form game and a short form game. But I feel like if you're going to be doing long-term stats, then of course most people are going to want to focus on the long-form game. So,
Well, what we meant by long-term and short-term, long-term game will be obviously the persistent survival part,
right.
the DZ style, and the
Yeah.
short type will be the events, the game modes that will be in there. Like we showed, capture the cargo on packs,
Yeah.
and like we're gonna add more of them. Sometime like maybe deathmatch, team deathmatch, capture the flag, the basic ones.
Yeah.
So this is what we meant by long-term and short-term events, playtime, or however you want to call it.
Okay. Because that's, I feel like there's some people, because there's a question here from Zach Titus who's, asked how long would a game take? They can't really tell if it's measured in minutes or days. And what I'm guessing here with this answer is that it's basically going to be a long form, based on days of spending time on the server, upping your stats, doing different things, correct?
Well, yeah, like for now, the whole like the long term that we're talking about, it's
Hmm.
not like you will play for a week and there's gonna be a global reset or something like that. No, that won't happen. You're
Wow.
gonna play consistently for like ever. We have like an idea to have a like goal also in the multiplayer. Like once you escape from the island, something big happens, and maybe that will initiate a reset or something like that. But that's for later
Oh.
on. That's still under development, under construction. For now, like when you will play, you will be in a persistent world, and pretty much that long term is like forever survival on the island for you, and the short terms are the events for people who like go in and shoot stuff.
Yeah. Holy cow.
So that's it.
Hell yeah.
I love that idea that it would actually be a or a player caused reset to the server. That's an interesting topic because I don't feel like everything you see from like Rust or DayZ is all server based resets.
Mm.
That's really an interesting aspect, and I hadn't ever really thought about that for this game. Well, speaking of the events and the long form game. You guys have been in testing for a little bit. What's kind of the response and the general feedback that you guys are getting from testers, if you can tell us?
Well, it's been much more positive than I was expecting to be honest.
Okay.
Like from people that are playing like survival games, like Hardcore Solid DayZ, or people that play, let's say, something like Escape from Tarkov,
Mm-hmm.
PUBG, and stuff like that. People are like really excited about it. They like it, actually. I don't know. Maybe it's because they're players from that specific game type, like
Mm-hmm.
survival, so they kind of maybe know what to expect, what to focus on.
Yeah.
But hey, we had also like people who are not from this game type genre, and they're also like, yeah, the game, like everything you show, it works well. Of course, there's obviously still work need to do, but it works well and it's interesting. It's fun. It's something new they didn't try before. So like, uh, there's like a lot of micro stuff that they always like initiate to go to make to do to build up stuff and
Right.
then or to build up your character as well. I said even that before that I wouldn't be surprised that somebody would try to go from a skinny guy to a big guy, and few people were actually trying that, are still trying to do it. It's not something you can do like in 1 or 2 days. It's a
Right.
process that takes time.
Just like real life.
But yeah, exactly. But yeah, the whole like feedback for now, it's pretty good. It's pretty, and
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's
Yeah,
pretty much it.
because
Yeah,
I've been.
I gotta
Oh, go
say,
ahead.
on this just being a fat guy seems really unattractive after watching that trailer. Like that guy got fucking murdered so bad. And like, I mean, do you actually run slower as a fat man?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
good.
I would assume so.
You would hope
I
so,
mean,
but I mean, I want to make sure.
yeah,
Yeah, which I love. I gotta ask because I noticed it in the trailer when you were showing off the differences of stamina. Um, you had the one guy who kind of passes the heavier set guy, as John's kind of referencing here, and
mm,
he actually steps off the side of the path and throws up. Is that like? And this is me kind of thinking long term, deeper cut of into the game is like say John and I don't like each other in the game. This is just all hypothetical.
all right.
And John decides we're teamed up together, and John decides, no, I don't want to be teamed up with him. I'm gonna feed him this poison. Now, can I make my character throw up? Like if I think John's been kind of too nice to me lately. I think something's going on, and I'm gonna eat this. And then can I make, like, if I wanted to, could I make my character vomit if I suspect him of evil doings?
Yeah, sure, you can.
Okay, so you can defecate
I mean,
and you can throw up. So just
And
for,
you can pee
and you can pee.
and piss as well. Yeah,
because I've seen
it's a
that.
basic
I've seen.
human need.
Holy
I mean,
shit.
regarding like throwing up, there are like few ways. One
Okay.
obviously would be like if you're sick, you ate something bad, and you throw up.
Right.
Another way is overeating. Like after a certain percentage of your stomach volume, if you eat more and more, there's a bigger and bigger percentage that you will throw up. Or the third one is deliberate. But again, like if you do it, you need to count that like everything you ate,
Is gone.
you will lose a certain percentage of it.
Okay.
Not everything, because nobody ever throws up really everything from their stomach, but
Right.
a big portion of it.
That's holy cow. So on that same vein and because I know we talked about this last time was the heart attack thing and the varying degrees of sickness. What like you guys have gone super in depth. We talked about the wetness. We talked about this all last time. But like, what can our characters get? The like, can they get pneumonia? And like, are like, does the game factor in? Okay, this character's got first stage pneumonia. It's going to affect his stamina, breathing, our oxygen intake, and basically like movability. And that is that going to affect how we as the player are going to move through your world, basically.
Well, yeah, I mean, depending like of the sickness,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, us we have like the whole metabolism in the game already. You
Right.
know it.
Yeah.
You most of people saw it. So pretty much what sicknesses are, they affect your body, your metabolism, and blood pressure, like, all sorts of other stuff. Hashtag I can speak English now. So pretty much, okay, you get a sickness. What does it affect? To what degree? Does it like reduce something? Does it pump something up? You know, and depending on the disease you have, we will put it in. It will affect you that certain way. If you have a cold, uh, no, you don't. Do you get a fever in a cold? I was not sick.
I think
Let's say you get a fever or sickness, your body temperature will go up. You will sweat faster. You'll lose more water, or what else is there? We have a big list of sicknesses.
yeah. So like okay, so like you have like the flu, you have common cold, you have pneumonia, you have so like you have these different things. So you could have like mixtures of them. Like so, say like the common cold, and pneumonia, you'll have a fever plus coughing plus like upper respiratory issues. So that
Yes,
would cause.
exactly.
Okay. I totally get where you guys are going with that. That adds like
I mean,
another
well,
whole.
when you have like a system like we have already in place, the metabolism, you can do wonders. But yeah, the downside is it takes a long time to like to make everything work with everything else, because it because when you put one thing in, it pulls five others with it to
Right.
adjust, to see how it works, and those five others maybe also interact with each one with five another things. So that takes time to adjust everything.
Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Um. Wow. I like that. It's so interesting. Like this, I feel like is something we've never really seen before in a game. So I can understand why people are insanely hyped because like that's
Yeah, not since
man.
Far Cry 2's malaria has there been
Oh
such care
God.
and take.
As long as I'm not having to take malaria pills every like 5 seconds. Um.
I
Jokes
think we
aside.
have malaria pills.
You. Oh.
Yeah, pretty sure we do.
Okay.
We
I
don't
mean,
have
okay.
malaria yet as a sickness. We have anti-malaria pills.
That
Just in case,
just in case, and as long as I'm not having to search them out every 2 minutes, like Far Cry. What was that? Far Cry 2?
Yeah,
Far
it's
Cry 2
two.
made me do.
Yeah.
God
Yeah,
damn it.
Africa.
Yeah, that one made me so angry because it was like, "Hey, I'm gonna drive this car. Nope, you have malaria. Crash into a tree." Um, so I wanted to get back to like the because the creation video that you guys released. Not only was it hilarious, but there were little bits and pieces that I feel like most people would have been paying attention to the wonderful word bubbles and the thoughts of our convict. That I kind of was looking elsewhere and saw on top of the flaws or underneath the flaws was a crime label. So like basically what your character's in prison for. And I know we kind of talked about this, but I kind of went back and was starting to think a little bit about it. So with crimes, is that going to help buff certain skills for characters or for players?
Nah,
So
that one is just for the lols.
it's just for the lulz, okay? Because
Just for the lols.
I was looking at it and thinking, oh well, like if I personalized in burglary, maybe my guy's really good at stealth and looting. Like that would be kind of cool. But that's just
Yeah,
me.
but that will kind of maybe in a
Yeah,
bit defeat the whole
true,
character creation on the skills and attributes and stuff like that.
true.
So those on the bottom, like excluding the flaws and the gear, are mostly for just like, for fun. The crime one.
That's awesome. Um, Speaking of that, so it looks like we'll be able to drop onto the island, or be let go onto the island with a certain amount of gear. Now, is the gear, if we're just starting, do we get to choose maybe one or two things, or does it depend on maybe fame points when we're coming back? Like, how does that kind of work out, and how do we get to kind of choose what we take with us?
Like the basic idea was like that people can choose maybe a basic knife, maybe a can of food or something basic like that, just to help them on the start a bit.
Okay.
We are talking a bit about it because we will have like a respawn system with the fame points.
Right.
So we'll see how it will pan out from that. But for now, the basic it is that you can maybe choose a few things. I said basics, knife, food can, I don't know, maybe a rope or something like that can help you in the beginning, so you can fend for yourself.
Oh, never go anywhere without your rope.
No, you can just you can hang yourself if everything goes wrong. So there you go.
Yeah.
John, that's all right. Okay, that makes sense.
What else do you do with rope? What?
God forbid you could craft something, right?
Oh, I guess that's Suppose that's
there you
true
go.
as well.
Sure. I have a question here from our Facebook page from Gareth Reese, who wants to know a couple of questions. And I'll start with this first one: is how long is your day-night cycle?
For now, the day is 6 hours and the night is 2, if I'm not wrong.
Wow. Cool.
So
right.
Day is 8 hours.
All right.
Wow.
That is some serious time.
Yeah, because I can imagine if you're starting out and you don't have a lot with you, it can get pretty dark on that island.
Yep. Well, it's nighttime.
Yeah. And I'm assuming there's no running electricity on that island.
No, if you don't like go into a big facility, find the generator, put fuel in it, and power it up.
Oh.
Unless you don't do that, no electricity.
I didn't. Okay, learned something new there.
But hey, you can always make torches.
Of course, always make torches. Gareth also wants to know about armor. Like, is there going to be like kind of like an armor system based on? I'm guessing because he doesn't really mention. He kind of says, will there be damage reduction or kind of like a health point buff?
Depending on there will be like step-proof vests.
Oh.
Well, bulletproof vests and things like that. If that's what he's asking.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. He's looking to see if basically armor will reduce damage taken by the character, or if it will.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
So
I think
like,
he's trying to. Yeah.
A basic helmet, like if you shoot with a 9mm gun, it probably won't go through. I mean, if you're gonna shoot like with a SVD or something like that, well, you're dead.
Yeah, that helmet's doing nothing for you.
But yeah, there will be like bulletproof vests and stuff like that can help you survive maybe an attack.
And to follow up on that in that launch trailer, or not the launch trailer, just the E3 trailer, that dude who was wearing like the animal clothing, was that offering any protection, or was that just a pure intimidation thing?
For now, those are just like cosmetical. Like if you want to show off that you actually killed the bear somehow.
Wear the bear.
Exactly.
Yes.
Those were like the bear head. Say that 3 times fast. Bear gloves and bear boots.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean that's enough. No, just wearing the bear, asserting your dominance, showing people that you did it.
I mean, I'm coming back to it, man. I'm gonna fist fight a bear, and then I'm gonna wear the bear I kill. All right, good to know.
I mean, like in a real situation, even if you like have a skinned bear and you make a bear head, if somebody's gonna shoot you in the head, I'm not sure if it's gonna protect you that well.
Probably not.
Probably
Probably
not.
not. No.
Probably not. To piggyback actually off of John's comment about the trailer, there's two things I want to talk about real quick before I get back to Gareth's other questions. The one is you guys. It looks like you guys have added dismemberment, which is fucking amazing, and it looked really fucking awesome. And Mr. Smiles. I know from my look through of different promotional material and such that the idea of who how do I want to phrase this, because I don't want to call it a mech because it looks like a mech, but it's I don't think it's a full mech. Between the dismemberment and Mr. Smiles, let's just cut it right down the middle. Mr. Smiles is basically kind of a tech used robot to keep things in line, I guess.
Yeah, and have fun.
I
I
a
mean, he's not
question.
called Mr. Smiles for nothing.
That's such a great fucking name. Can I use Mr. Smiles to my advantage? Is that a thing? Or do we not
Well,
know?
first you need to ask for consent. All right. I mean, if I tried to approach him a few times, and I died
Okay.
pretty fast, like really, really fast. 50 caliber bullets fast.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I guess
So
I'll
yeah,
have to.
you can try,
Okay.
but yeah. Jokes aside, on the long run, like there is an idea if you have like a big enough programming / hacking skill, that maybe in a way you can like hack the sentries and use them to your advantage. But of course, you won't be able to have a pet sentry that runs around on the island with you.
Right. That's the only other thing I was thinking about there was is there kind of like a time period that you can hack him, but at the same time not grief everybody else? Because that could be a big bad thing.
Yeah, it can. I mean, as well, that feature is still not in the game.
Right.
We'll see once we start working on that whole programming / hacking skill.
Mm-hmm.
So we will see. So we'll see about that. Maybe we'll like make it in a way because the sentries are protecting a certain part of the island, secret bases.
Oh.
So maybe okay, you hack it just to shut it down so you can enter the base. Because right now it's really really hard. It's possible, don't get me wrong, but it's really hard to like to get past them to get into the base actually.
That's so there's actually going to be like so tech actually exists on the island in control of kind of what's happening above ground. That's
Did I say that? No.
I mean, you said underground base, so that's just me thinking. That's just me thinking, dude.
If you don't have it
Ooh.
on writing, it doesn't count.
God damn it! Fuck. Wait, are we recording this? Shit. Um. So let me. I want to finish this. You know, with this line of questioning, with the whole Mr. Smiles and can I dismember John enough and still keep him alive, or is dismemberment instant death? Like if I say I took his arm.
No, for now, no, because we got that question a lot, and we would love to have it, but it requires a lot of work animation-wise.
Yeah.
And probably wouldn't be very much fun for the person who's getting dismembered and be like, all right, so I just got my leg cut off. I'm chained to a bed. Now what? You know, this is what the hell?
Well, if people are doing that to you, I'm not sure if they really care about you having fun.
Yeah, I suppose they wouldn't. No.
You do you. I'm not saying it. But you know, in the future, like we'll see. We would really love to have actual that option because it doesn't like need to certainly be that you need to cut off somebody's hand because hey, let's do it. It sounds fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, maybe you got an infection and from stop spreading it and to killing your character, you need to cut off your arm. I don't know.
Oh, that would be kind of like that. But then you have someone who's got maybe surgical skills or some kind of surgical skill and intellect that they could make like a prosthetic of some sort. That would be a way to look at that and kind of circumvent from being like, oh, well, I'm sorry we had to take your arm because that infection was probably gonna kill you. But here I made you this wood arm, and then like depending upon your skills, like it could look really awesome and benefit your character, or it could just look really terrible, and your character's like,
I'm not sure how would you benefit from a prosthetic wood arm,
uh,
but like
I mean,
maybe you can beat somebody with that. I guess
it could be.
somehow.
I, that would. I mean, it's things to think about. Wonder things you could beat him to death with a prosthetic arm. Um,
Or how about you just like make a prosthetic wood arm and keep it in your normal hand and just beat somebody with it? Works
I
as well.
I'm all for that. Like it just yeah, okay. Let's talk a little bit more about that after stream maybe or after this recording maybe we can figure something out and we can attach it.
Let's move it after the release, all right?
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, we can do that. So okay. So there's no okay, that's unfortunate. I was kind of hoping that maybe if I wanted to I could be like, "Hey John, come here a second." And then like tink, and then I just give him like a fake wooden hand or something like that. You could be like the dude from Happy Gilmore, John.
Yes, just like him.
So Gareth also asked about ammo, like if there's going to be specific type, like because you mentioned 50 cal bullets. Now, are there going to be? I know we said last episode that we talked that you guys were mainly focusing on like guns being sort of event focused slash end game kind of stuff, where it's going to be a little bit harder to get guns when you're surviving on the island, but. Are there going to be different types of ammo, like full metal jacket or bullet penetrating, or not body penetrating?
For now, to my knowledge, because I totally suck at like anything that has anything to do with firearms. For now, like we have like just different type of calibers that goes into different types of weapons. That's it for now.
Okay.
But yeah, when I was like doing some research, doing the certain calibers, I saw a lot of various ammunition depending on what you're shooting at.
Okay.
That'd be definitely interesting to have. We'll see about that.
Because the other thing that he asked on top of the ammo, because that's awesome to know that you guys are fully like looking through on that. Because I mean, understanding that this game is just as like it's a survival based game, but there's also the game show element of it that you got to kind of keep it fresh for everybody and keep everyone kind of doing different things. With weapons, are you going to have attachments, like just general attachments that kind of, work here and there? Or is it going to be something that maybe, you have to find one piece and then maybe craft another or each piece kind of needs an interlocking, attachment, basically?
Again, to my knowledge, the way we have like now is, for now, it's pretty basic. Like you have a AK, you have a rail that goes onto it if you want to mount a scope on it.
Perfect.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there are a few guns that have like a rail by default. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, I've been playing a lot of Tarkov lately, and I do know that there are some guns whose like actual rail has or actual like setup has it. Yeah, it has a rail built into it. So I mean, I would assume that either way. I mean, with you guys, you'd probably have it set up both ways where you eventually would have it set up both ways where you could have guns with rails that are already attached or guns that need rails to actually attach a scope.
Yeah, it depends like on the gun.
Yeah, exactly.
If the gun has it, we will have it as well. That's it. But there will also be like, you'll be able to make improvised guns and rifles.
Oh.
I like that.
That's... Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you won't be able to make a factory standard rifle.
No,
like fully automatic.
Of course not.
But like an improvised gun, of course, it's gonna take the biggest survival skill level in that to be able to craft it. And it's probably gonna use like maybe smaller caliber bullets, even the rifle one. But it will work in a pinch.
Hell yeah. Rather have that than a fucking bow. Well, maybe. Depends. But almost certainly. Gun versus bow. I like gun.
Well, depending on the situation in our game, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, I'll just get a gun and that's it, game over. Nobody can touch me anymore." The
However,
players are not the biggest danger on the island. You know.
Oh,
well, yeah, the bears and the
Well,
zombies are troubling
puppets.
indeed. Not to mention the giant robot and such.
So like, and even we have plans to add another cute thingies little that are cuddly. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see about that. You know, just like using guns like maniacs, that it can get you into trouble.
So, okay, all right. This kind of flows from a question because since we're talking about guns and noises and things, someone had asked. I'm gonna try to find their name here real quick because this was actually a question I had, but I hadn't thought about it. I'm gonna butcher this name, and I'm very very sorry. Remunus Baxis asked, he says will zombies, but we all know that they're puppets. Will puppets react to the gunshot sound? So like if I get into a gunfight, is that gonna draw if I'm shooting at someone across a field and there are puppets nearby, is that gonna draw them in to me versus the person who's I'm shooting at?
I said that actually will also depend on the type of the puppet, as we plan to have different various types of puppets. Some are maybe more dangerous, some maybe less, but there are more of them, and those aspects. Of course, most of them will be like attracted to sound, some less, some more, depending. You'll find that out.
That's kind of threatening. That's kind of threatening and worrisome, but I'm willing to find out how threatening
it's
and
a fact.
worrisome.
It's just a fact.
All right, okay, all right. I'm a little worried to play your game because I feel like I'm gonna jump in and there's gonna be just a group of puppets waiting for me. Thanks to you. That's okay.
No
That's
problem.
okay. I'll find a
Love
way
you.
through it.
I'm pretty sure it won't.
I probably won't. um, John, what do you got? Because I only got a couple more, and then I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about this game.
Yeah, I was
This
actually going to
is-
ask the zombie thing, but you nailed it.
Oh, sorry.
And then I had a disease question, but we pretty much covered that as well. So I'm good, more or less, on my questions as far as I can think, although this is an ever-evolving process. If I think of something, I'll jump in.
It is because that's the beauty I feel of this game is that it's not just a survival game. There's so much more depth inside of it because it feels like the way you talk and the way you kind of promote everything Wonder, it makes me feel like it's not just a survival game and it's not just a game where you're going to play different game modes and events. There's an underlying, and I know through the lore that I've read, there is this underlying sense of like, I need to get off this island, but there's something more sinister going on that I think you're telling us, and I know we'll find out soon enough.
Tom, tom, tom. Hear the
Um,
tense music.
I know, John. Remember
Got
that. Now, from what you guys have shown us in the character creation videos, there's a couple of faces we have to choose from. Is that going to expand, and will that also include your wonderful mug?
Of course it will. That's the most important one. What kind of question is that?
Hey man, it just came to my head. I had to ask.
It's gonna contain probably all developer faces.
Oh wow.
Maybe not all, because some people joined us after we took them.
Okay.
But
That's
of course, the main question, yeah, it's gonna have mine.
Great.
that's so fantastic.
Though, to be honest, I really can't imagine myself on a buff type of guy. I'm pretty sure by the default, if you choose my face, there will be a certain limit that will my lovable colleagues put that you can get like above it. Probably a small, tiny guy just being small and puny.
That feels rude. They should apologize for that.
I would not.
Well, speaking of, because you just said I feel like, well, when we say small, I feel like we talk about small body size wise, but I also think small height wise. Is there going to be? Am I going to be able to change the height of my character, or is that it's just everyone's going to be the same height?
For now, everybody's the same height.
For now, okay. So that's gonna. Will that change over time, or is that just going to be?
No idea.
Okay. Because that's another thing I feel like someone brought up. Mace. I'm gonna butcher this name again. I'm so sorry, dude. Mace Galecki had asked the question about the faces and the height of characters, which is what seeing everyone kind of the same height will be different because, but at the same time, I feel like with the third person advantage and that kind of thing, you're not really going to notice the height of characters as much. Um,
As I said, I'm not sure even if we talked about it. We probably did, but I forgot. But yeah, for now, I can't say a certain answer.
okay. No, that's totally fine. I totally understand that. I know John brought it up about the kind of like group spawning situation, but another question that's been kind of brought up, and it was brought up by Aaron Criswell, was you guys had mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, because I've been looking through the Steam discussions and your Discord, but there's conversations about like building groups, kind of like in the same idea of a prison hierarchy. Um, is there going to be a way to distinguish your group mates or quote unquote clanmates? Like, are they going to have their names above their heads, or will you be able to kind of maybe fashion, I don't know, like say like an armband or something that at least allows you to know who friend versus foe is within the confines of the game?
Well, for now, the basic idea is to have some like UI indicator, maybe as you said, a name over the head or
Yeah.
something like that. But there's also an idea floating around to have some physical, visible like distinction from your teammates and not teammates. Like you said, maybe an armband or something like that.
Which also I feel like, and this is me just throwing it out there because, I'm the kind of person who thinks that no, any idea can be a good idea or a bad idea depending on how you broach it. But within the confines of the game, you have the lore of the BCU. I think that at some point, maybe either versus the programming or hacking version of it, or even just within the confines of the BCU itself, that your character maybe could program it to say like, "Hey, these guys are cool, so mark them as like green, or show me who they are," and you could like kind of almost have like a readout on a player's screen of like that other person's name in game or what have you. That's just something I kind of thought about after reading that question, which would
Well,
basically
it's an
equivalent to the same thing.
it's a curious approach, definitely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Continue.
I just there's so much to just kind of discuss here. So you guys were at PAX, and you guys just I from the streams I watched, you guys were having a grand old time. And it was a lot of people just being able to play the event mode. What were the responses at PAX? What was there anybody who kind of gave you guys, any thoughts, any tips, any kind of like, hey man, like I'm X streamer, like this is what I kind of play. Here's what I think would make this interesting. Like anything kind of cool pop out of that from PAX?
Well, there were obviously a lot of opinions
Mm-hmm.
and reactions. Most of them were good. Some people didn't like it, obviously.
Yeah.
To me personally, I saw it like opening opening it up to a certain audience, more to the PUBG audience, to the Fortnite audience, than the audience. Like uh, regarding the event mode, like of course there's a survival part, and that's for. I mean, the whole game is for everybody. Everything's for everybody.
Right.
But on PAX, like us, like whoa, there's also a lot of horror people that are not in the survival that like this, that are really into it. So it widened uh, the outreach to the people a lot. Those events. We had a Cloud9 PUBG Pro Shroud. No,
Oh.
no, no, no. It was not him. Sorry.
Oh.
Uh, eh, Oh my god, I forgot. Solid
John.
FPS. Solid FPS. I think that's the name. If
He's on
somebody's
cloud nine.
like,
He's on cloud nine. That's the important thing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's on cloud nine. I think I'm like 80% sure the name is Solid FPS. If somebody's listening to it, if I messed it up, I'm so sorry. In short, like he played it and he said that it plays much like the feel was better than PUBG. As I never played PUBG. I don't know how it feels, but regarding like the shooting wise and the ballistics, like we went also really in depth from a lot of aspects. There's from ricochets to penetration of different types of materials, uh, depending on like of course a bulletproof vest, uh, to the weapon you should obviously.
Oh, so like
And
if like, and just sorry to interrupt, but like if I shot, say I shot like a metal sign, depending upon how I hit that, you guys have already calculated the trajectory of like it'll either continue through the sign on a ricochet, or it'll just hit and then drop to the ground.
well, there's few options. Either it will ricochet, or penetration, or just it will stop.
Whoa.
It depends on the angle of hitting the sign, depending on the depending on obviously the gun, depending how far you are from it. Like as the bullet drops energy and speed,
Right.
how it goes far. So it takes a lot of different scenarios into account.
Holy cow.
And like people who are really deep in, I mean, obviously you don't need to know all of that. You can just, I mean, I don't know shit about it. I just go in, I get a gun, and I go shoot people. But also, like, is it possible to go in? Maybe I don't know. You're behind a wall. You know that your enemy is behind another wall. You can see. Okay, behind what material is? Okay, I can shoot through it. Can I maybe do a ricochet kill? It's possible. It
Ooh.
happened a lot of times. We had you even. I mean, you even have like helmet ricochets. I saw that
What?
happening as well.
Oh,
What?
holy shit. So wow. Okay. So the bolt doesn't just immediately impact and do damage. It could potentially bounce off.
Yeah, I mean, if it like goes like on this really like if it touches a small like obviously if it's not a high velocity and high caliber gun, if it's just like a M9 from I don't know 300 meters, it's probably gonna bounce off if it hits it on the side.
Wow.
It's not gonna go through it.
Whoa.
That is awesome.
That is so cool to hear, because like I know, because I've, like I said, I've been playing a bit of Escape from Tarkov, and I've also been watching some Tarkov streamers who have been getting very frustrated with certain aspects of not, and this is mostly due to like the AI and how they're firing and finding characters, the actual player characters within the world. But the idea that if I'm X amount of, like if I'm, a football field away and I fire a pistol at someone, that's not gonna, like, and they're wearing a helmet and I hit the side of the helmet, that's not gonna kill them. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, look at that, I got the kill. That'll actually hit, and they'll probably feel that, and it'll like kind of give them a knock to the side, but they'll be able to see, oh, that guy's got a pistol and he's messing with me. I've got this AK. I'm gonna shoot him in the face. Holy cow. That.
I mean, there's also a lot of aspects that we were like looking into it. We're still thinking about it because like if you shoot somebody with an SVD on what on a big distance,
Okay.
and if you have like a strong bulletproof vest, it may not kill him, but make sure that you'll get knocked out. It will like you'll be on your back instantly. Like
Oh.
that. I mean, we still don't have that aspect. Like
Right.
depending on if somebody shoots in your leg, you just continue running. For now, we have it like that. It was on PAX as well as like that. Uh, but we are still looking into it. Like, should we like give penalties for that?
Oh, kind of like a damage state. So like if I got shot or John got
In the
shot,
leg, you run slower.
you'd run slower. Or
Exactly.
if you get
Or
shot
like if
arm,
you're shot
you're
in the
not gonna-
hand,
Yeah.
you can shoot just with one hand. But as said,
Oh.
well, we're looking into this because still the game, if it's too realistic, it's not going to be fun.
Right. Right. No, I totally
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll do it for the event types, depending on. Maybe we can change it from the event. Maybe we can do for arcade event where you
Yeah.
just go and shoot like Battlefield Call of Duty style. Maybe have some events that are like more taxing. If you get shot in the hand, you can't use that hand anymore. If you get shot in the leg, just run slower, or you can't run at all, and stuff like that.
Interesting. Because I feel like, and like, John, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I feel like something that I would feel would help facilitate within the world of a game like Scum, and it's something that I thought of, in the DayZ times, where if you had, if you had a group of people, and with what Scum does with, having to see a player physically with your character to actually have them register if you're like peeking around a corner or what have you. Um, my thought is being able to add in like a damaged state movement where like a character could feign an injury and then another group sees him and we're gonna take advantage of this. He's almost dead. We'll kill him and get his gear. And then as they go in, there's three other people from that feigning injury person just pops up and kills the rest of the team. Any thoughts on if you'll be able to add in something like that, or if that's an idea to be able to kind of like set up something like that?
Well,
I know it's a lot.
I don't. No, but I don't see why couldn't you do it like now. I mean, obviously we don't have like some obvious visual indicators that
Right.
it's wrong with a person. But you can always have like a group of 4 people and one guy baiting somebody else.
Yeah. That's true. No, you're very right on that one. Because the way I think about it is either indicating the character being injured versus just seeing a character running around. I feel like most people will be like, well, that's bait. Like, sorry, I'm gonna throw in the Mad Max GIF. That's bait. Real quick, and then they'll be like, well, whatever. Whereas like some people would see like if a character's covered in blood or if they're like moving slower, then they're like, oh, like he's injured. Let's take care of him and let's get whatever shit he has. Because I know Rust. Does Rust do that, John? I haven't played Rust in forever.
No, I don't believe you can like feign illness, like or weakness, or like pretend to go down.
Okay.
Which they don't really need that in that game anyway. Everybody is a murderous psychopath that will kill. Like it doesn't like even if somebody's like, oh, he's down. If it's not a dead ass body, I'm not interested.
Fair enough.
'Cause otherwise, I'm like, that is a trap. I don't even care. If he's got friends, they're coming to help him, and if they're coming to help him, they're coming to kill me. That's the way the game is played, So I don't. Yeah, no.
Well, I know we kind of talked about this, but you guys brought it up again in the teaser trailer. Is that all contestants' bodies will be reused as puppets? That is gonna be a thing, like for real.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I really don't want to have to kill John multiple times just because he's gonna come back as a puppet. Although it'll probably be vice versa. It'll be me because I'm bad at everything. John can attest to that.
Yeah, I'll take you out. Don't worry.
The more the better.
John, I can't. I've got. I'm gonna take a look through here real quick.
Make sure
to
we
see
didn't
if I
miss
missed
anything key.
But I'm really curious to see what you guys have in store when you guys are launching in August. No date. TM. Soon. TM. I know you guys have probably heard. I feel like. Wonder yourself with how many times you probably get asked that question. You could probably buy yourself a lot of alcohol to make you forget that question ever existed.
Probably never.
Oh, here we go. I think I've seen it on your Discord, but for those who are not yet on your Discord, I'll try to pull it from there. Someone asked about the specs. I would assume minimum specs, since Steam doesn't really have a lot from what I'm seeing right now for Scum.
Yeah.
What's the minimum that you can maybe give us?
I really have no idea from the top of my head now at the moment. But we have like more specs like from different PCs
Okay.
on our Discord, as you said. So if people are interested, join our Discord
Okay.
and have an awesome time as well because everybody's there. We always talk.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and
and you
I'll
can
post that link.
see it there.
Yeah, I'll post that link for the people who are on our Facebook page that haven't joined up yet. Um, Here's another one that's we kind of covered a little bit, um, but permadeath. I mean, I know you guys have said that fame points are going to factor into respawning, um, but at any point is there going to be like a permadeath system where if you don't have enough fame points, that's it. You have to start a new character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, and have you guys kind of figured out what that mid ground's going to be, or is that something you guys are kind of still tossing around? Is like what what people are going to need to have in terms of fame points to keep their character kind of, I guess, paying the respawn rate. I guess is the best way I could put that.
Well, we don't like the respawn rate won't be like too hard to get to really
Okay.
because we don't like that punish. We don't like to punish people really.
Okay.
Like what I personally hate is when I play like a survival game. After 3 hours, I die and that's it. Let's go again. It makes sense. It's not wrong, but I personally don't like it, and nobody in our team likes it. So that uh, I set the boundary for the fame points that you can respawn. It won't be like, okay, now I need to play for 5 days, like safely and everything like that, just to be able to die. You know,
Wow.
it
Okay.
won't be the case. You will be able to get it there fast. But also, there'll be other ways to spend fame points. Uh,
Oh.
can I can I talk about it? I'm not sure
I
if I can.
I don't know. Can that? Are you gonna get in trouble if you tell us?
I can't remember if I was talking about it on PAX. I was talking a lot.
You did. I feel like I don't want to because I don't remember.
Let's skip that for now. Let's
Yeah.
keep people waiting. If I did, somebody will know and will post that guy's an idiot. He can't remember what he talked about. So never mind.
Yeah, if it's out there.
Well,
But there will
yeah.
be also like other ways to spend fame points. So you will be, should I make my life easier, or should I keep the fame points in case of if I die?
Oh.
In a kind of way, you make your life easier in both ways. Just in the second way, it's a bit more risky. Like, okay, I'll get something extra for this, and that,
Okay.
or do I save the fame points in case if I die? So it's your choice. It's always your choice what you will do and the path you will approach.
Interesting.
Of course, through time, like if you play a lot, do a lot of actions, you'll have enough fame points for both, maybe.
Oh.
That's not out of the question. It's not always this or this. No, if you're good, if you're popular, if you have enough fame points, you can do more stuff. But as I said, you're more popular and you have a bigger target on your back, probably.
Right. Um. So I'm just thinking in terms of like a prison sense. Are we gonna be able to like bet fame points on things? Like if say like there's an event happening that we're not taking place in, can we place bets on other characters or other players within the world?
For now, no. For now, no.
Okay.
But we did think about like introducing an economic system.
Oh.
We're not sure like how it can work out
Okay.
because like you're on the island, like there's a lot of inmates on the island controlled by a outside TV show states, uh, dark society, whatever you want to call it. And would they allow it just for the fans? Like, okay, it looks fun. It will boost up our ratings,
Right.
or stuff like that. We need like to see about it, how it will feel, in which way it can pan out to the gameplay, because yeah, it sounds awesome, but you can just throw everything in a game that sounds awesome because you'll just get a mush of everything.
Right.
It needs to feel good and make sense in both times.
Hmm.
In the same time, sorry.
Okay. No, I get that. I got what you're saying. That's okay. Because that kind of brings a secondary question to me at least, and I don't know if you were thinking about this as well, John, but um, we know, as all of us have kind of seen the growth of Twitch, um, is there any plan to possibly allow for some sort of Twitch integration on your guys' end? Where maybe, like, if you're, say, someone's streaming it and they have a large group of people watching, where, like, maybe, you or someone else within the dev team could see that and go, let's just trigger Mr. Smiles for no reason. Is that something you guys have maybe thought about?
Yeah, but that's totally awesome to incorporate the actual gameplay with like real actual interaction.
Oh,
It can be good, it can be bad. For
right.
now, it's just an idea. Like we were like, it would be awesome, and that's it. Where we stopped.
Okay.
We didn't really think about it. But I said one day, who knows if it gets a lot of traction, a lot of interest. If it can be done, I don't see why not.
That
I mean, like what I got from SCUM, like in the whole time from its making, is like 98% of the questions we get, the answer is really, yeah, it's possible. We'll see about it.
right.
There's maybe like just 2% of questions that are just like, no, we can't because of, I don't know, it's not in our lore, it's not
Right.
family friendly or something like that. The last question I saw something like that was some person suggested that we drop in aliens.
What? What?
I don't think it was even like in a joke sense.
Oh.
It was like, yeah, like you have robots, you have like prisoners that are reanimating, coming back to life. What put in aliens? I mean,
Why not?
I see, I understand
What
that
the
aspect.
hell?
Yeah, I see his point of view, but yeah, I think that'd be a bit too much.
Yeah, just a teeny bit too much.
Keep it on Earth, for the love of God. When you bring it in other
I said,
worlds.
but for as most like questions that people have that are not trolls or something like that, most of them are possible.
Yeah.
Because like even like I get surprised from day to day, like how much of potential and big of a world are we building up from the bottoms up, and it really is something that it's not been done before. Because of course most all games and SCUM has like it's certain like development way that we see how it needs to go.
Right.
Each game has that, but then again, we can like on that way we can drop in so many things that it's gonna make sense. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be playable, and people will love it.
Yeah, and that's
Of course, not everybody will be in the game at the end, because as I said before, you can have a mush of everything.
yeah.
But things that make sense, that are fun, and people would really like to see, I don't see why we wouldn't we try to put it in.
That's the really cool part about that, is that you guys are at least going to see what the community is going to say, like, oh, like, what about this idea? And if it's something that's viable, then maybe we can try that. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, and the rest of the community doesn't agree with how it's implemented, then maybe it doesn't fit the game.
Exactly. That's what I just sort of say. It also goes the other way around. If people
Exactly.
don't like something, we're gonna try it out. Like the quote unquote wall hack skill, we threw it out. It's not in the game anymore. You heard it here first.
Oh, really? Holy crap. That is news, because I
That
see
is-
people bitch about that
Yeah, people like-
still to this day. And I really was kind of a defender. I was like, it makes sense.
I mean,
but
it makes sense. It's a good idea, but still, like we saw, like a lot of people were against it. Even there was a lot of like constructive argument why it's not really the best idea. And we're like, we don't agree maybe with you. We try to make it work. It works okay. It's not that you will always see like just silhouettes running around everywhere. But again, majority didn't want to have it in the game.
Right.
It's an easy decision. Like, okay, just try it out.
wow, cool. All right.
Man.
That whole skill tactics, it's under rework right now.
Okay. Wow. So that's a first. That's I mean, because yeah, like John said, we both were kind of people who saw it and went, okay, like I get what they're trying to do. I don't think it's wall hacks, but it there was a vocal enough group that I understand exactly why you guys are like, well, yeah, nope, that's not gonna work. We'll just pull it right the fuck out.
That when you just see it and like you don't have it explained and you don't understand the tactic skill and you just see like what the fuck, you can just see through walls
Yeah.
like with no context. That's one thing that just look. I could understand why people think that looks bad. But once I understood it, I was like, no, this is fine. This is like answering a problem that the third-person shooters like naturally have. But just take it out. Also, fuck yeah, also works. So don't even have to deal with it. Wash your hands of that situation. So there you go.
And that's
Yeah, exactly.
a lot of people don't I feel like we're in a day and age, and I know I talked about this on the E3 episode, but there's a lot of points where people say they'll bash a developer because they didn't do X, Y, and Z, or they took too long to do A, B, and C, and in the same breath that most people forget that A, they can vote with their wallet, and then B, that devs are doing something that they want to do because it's something that hasn't been done before, and that's why when I first started seeing everything about Scum was something where I just went, holy shit, like this, I've never seen any of this done before. Like I've seen the style of gameplay, but some of the stuff you guys were trying to pull off and since then have been introducing between wetness and metabolism and everything else, it's like this is a genre unto itself.
Hmm. Yeah, I understand. I mean, uh, I don't blame like consumers. I was also before I was a developer was also a consumer myself,
Right.
and when you're on the both sides, you then is that's actually the point where you can see the middle ground.
Hmm.
Once I become a dev, I saw a lot of what the devs did wrong. I saw a lot where I was wrong.
Huh.
I don't want to go too much into
No,
details
I
about
understand
those because
that. I understand
it's
that.
gonna become a long rant. There's time for that. But I mean, from my perspective, like my opinion and my situation as a community manager of Game Pirates and the whole attitude of Game Pirates, we are really trying to be as open as possible. Of course, people will bring up, okay, why did you like 3 days before the end of the Q2, you announced that it's going to be delayed? I mean,
That's
as said
something.
before, that decision came really, really like sudden.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people, from what I had seen, just weren't. There was a mixture of things between people being upset that it was like, oh well, you guys should have known, versus oh well, like what's going on? Why is this being delayed again? And for me, as someone who's been following Scum, it's like maybe maybe it is going to be a little bit longer for most people, but for me, it's giving you guys the time you need to kind of finesse everything to have a launch into early access, because you see a lot also nowadays where games launch, even AAA games launch with multiplayers that don't work or servers that don't connect. And this gives you guys time to kind of make sure everything's ready to go.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, again, what you said, some people said that we should have told them before. Some said it's okay.
Yeah.
No one is wrong there.
No.
No, like I take the whole. It's my fault. Flat. It was my
Okay.
fault. We should have communicated better with people. Of course, we messed up. I said I didn't like beat around the bush. I said, guys, we messed up. We're sorry.
I mean,
Right.
From the, that's the only thing I can do.
right.
Well, I mean, I can now go like, okay, we messed up. Here's this. I'll give you this. I'll give you this. No, I certainly can't do it. If I could, I would, but I can't. I just have like, okay, guys, I'm sorry, we messed up. We will try our best. We are still doing our best, and I think we really proven ourselves that we are really talking with the community, showing everything off, and of course, trust is something that you need to build up. We're
True.
also trying to do that. If somebody thinks that we've broken their trust, totally fine. I respect that. Maybe we'll win them back later on. Maybe we won't. That's all up to them.
Exactly.
Because in all, again, it's a touchy subject.
No,
I think most of the time nobody's really wrong because things happen in the background that even we can't influence, and it pans out like this.
yeah.
Some people react harsh, also with valid reasons. So yeah, in the end, nobody's really wrong.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
No, that
I don't know how to put it any other way, really.
that makes sense to me, John. That makes sense to you.
Makes sense to me. I'm with you 100% of the way.
So, as we wrap this up, Wonder, again, I want to thank you for joining us again on the podcast to talk about SCUM. I do notice that you have stated that you guys are trying, as you just stated yourself, that you guys are very open and transparent. That you guys are trying to do a couple more things as you guys progress to release in August. You guys have some plans coming up for maybe some Q&A outside of the three of us talking, or the Discord.
Oh yeah, we plan to do the live streams.
Okay.
To start with them before the release, to have like Q&As with people, as you said, to bring them closer in, to introduce what we have, so they get really familiar with what will they get on early access, so that once the time comes, we don't have like people, bashing us too much. There will always be bashing. We understand that, but again, we are trying to be as transparent as possible. So
Awesome.
yeah, and this is where we will come in with streams, where I will be there, other developers will be there. We will talk to people, answer questions directly, show off gameplay, and I don't know, whatever we can think of.
Perfect.
Probably do a office tour.
Oh, awesome. That'd be cool to see. Well, then they can find all that information on the Discord, which we'll post the link to in our on our Facebook page and on our notes here for the podcast episode itself. Wonder, where can they find you on the interwebs, and where can they find you when you guys are going to be doing these Twitch streams as well?
You will be able to watch some Twitch from Game Pass and SCUM.
Okay.
Probably not both, only one. We will, regarding those, we will notify you. Our Discords, me personally on Twitter.
Yeah, you personally, or yeah.
On Twitter, if that's what you asked.
Yeah.
Hashtag EgoBoost. Don't blame me. It's late. SCUM has also a Facebook, Reddit, Discord, as you said, Twitter. You will have all the links. I'll send you all the links.
Yep.
Did I cover everything? I think I did.
I think that's just about everything. Guys, John, Wonder, thanks again for taking the time. I know our time difference is a bit crazy.
Yeah, thanks, man.
With
Holy
us
shit.
in the States.
No
at
worries, guys.
least it wasn't 1 a.m. this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, you can find us at facebook.com/beardstrokingbullshit. We'll have all the links on our Facebook post when this episode goes live. We'll have all of Wonder's information, SCUM's information, Gamepire's information, their Twitch information, so you can check out and make sure that you're following them for when they do go live and when they do their Q&As. John, where the fuck can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Posh, P-O-S-C-H, where I'll be talking about all good things that are good, and also on YouTube at HOZ.WTF. That's www.HOZ.WTF. If for whatever reason you do not like podcast apps or something like that, I now post the episode to my Facebook, my YouTube as well. So, hey,
Boom.
we got podcasts up the wazoo for you if you so are inclined to watch them, listen to them, whatever you do with the podcast.
That's where you can find us as well. So now you guys can not only find us on Shout Engine, you guys can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. You guys can also find us on YouTube. As awesome as it is. As always, you guys, you can find us at facebook.com/beardstrokingbullshit. I'm over at Twitter at mhilger. I'm tweeting all things and getting us ready for some other guests, which I've got one for San Diego Comic-Con that we're really fucking excited about. And I've only told a couple people, and I'm not going to tell you guys just yet. You're just going to have to wait.
Ooh, a tease.
A tease, indeed. You can find me over at twitch.tv/stickintheBox. I'm getting everything set up. I got some new alerts set, which are kind of fun for follows and hosts and donations. If you feel froggy to donate $1 to me, I don't give a shit. You really don't need to. You can just come and hang out and watch me be bad at stuff. Yeah, that's it for us this week, guys. We will catch you in our next episode. See ya.